To see how the two problems might be brought together, I'll first sketch in some of the background to each of them as it was in Hegel's time. First then, other minds or other people. Kant, the great philosopher who initiated what we call German idealism, if we don't count Leibniz in that sequence, Kant was generally felt to have neglected the matter of other people. Fichte and Schelling started out with the absolute I or ego, the I that does not contrast with you, he, and she, but they also tried to remedy this defect in Kant, the neglect of other people. Because Fichte argued, later a German idealist between Kant and Hegel, Fichte argued that because there is an I, there must be a you or a thou. Putting it in a slogan, he said, no thou, no I, no thou. I'm saying thou because German distinguishes between the singular and the plural of the second person pronoun. So the singular would be thou and the plural you. But we're so polite in England that we made it all plural. Fichte's main argument is this: to be a proper person, I must be a moral agent. There must be things that I ought to do and things that I ought not to do. This is only possible if there are other people, people to whom I owe duties, people to whom I ought to do some things and ought not to do others. Schelling, a younger contemporary of Fichte and a friend of Hegel's, was early on a collaborator of Fichte and also a close friend of Hegel. He has two arguments that I've come across for the necessity of other people and for belief in them. First, without other people, I wouldn't be conscious of an objective world. Other people perceive the world when I'm asleep, they perceive parts of it that I do not, and so on. If I make mistakes about the world, other people correct me. They thus guarantee that the world exists independently of me and isn't just a sort of shadow of myself following me around. Secondly, without other people, I would not be conscious of my freedom. Without other people, I can do whatever I like. The existence of others, however, imposes restrictions on what I should do. I cannot just follow my urges, I have to restrain myself. I cannot eat any of the people in this room, not just because they will put up resistance, so too do animals. I cannot do it because it's morally wrong. In respecting this moral restraint, I demonstrate my freedom both to myself and others. Schelling also believes that what's needed for us to believe in other people is reciprocal recognition. As a quote from him, I must recognize other intelligences as existing independently of me. This relation is fully reciprocal, and no rational being can prove itself as a rational being except by recognizing others as rational being. This was written before Hegel in 1800, but it's not as vivid as the way in which Hegel expresses such things, though it may be that it's clearer what the argument is. So far then, these idealists, Fichte and Schelling, have two main conclusions. Belief in the existence of other people is not an optional extra. It's not only an addition to my account of the world. If I do not recognize the existence of others, then I can't regard myself as a proper person. I can't be self-conscious or aware of my freedom. I cannot be a moral being or even perhaps inhabit an objective world. The problem of other minds, secondly, is a practical matter, not just a theoretical matter. I believe in the existence of others, not only because regular observation of their appearance and behaviour suggests that there are beings around rather like myself, but because my own conduct, the conduct I must engage in if I am a proper person, commits me to believing in other people and would not make sense otherwise.